Hey Canucks fans, going to talk about Elias Pettersson and Vasily Podkolzin and why I'm not worried about either of them. I'm Canuck Clay. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Monday, October the 25th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. And as always, this vlog is brought to you by Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. Sign up now for a free 7-day trial. Use the link in my video description. Thanks to everyone who joined me for my live stream last night. Had a lot of fun. Went back-to-back nights, Saturday night and Sunday night. Tonight, another live stream. I'm with Parker, Canucks After Dark, Monday nights at 10 p.m. right here on YouTube. Just look up Canucks After Dark. And no, I'm not moving anywhere. I just had a busy weekend, so bringing a bunch of stuff back to work. Speaking of work, Canucks getting back to work today, practicing later this morning. Probably won't vlog later unless something crazy happens from practice, which I doubt. And we know that the Canucks have returned from a 6-game road trip, moderately successful, getting 7 out of 12 points, a .583 points percentage. You guys know I always say you got to go 500 on the road, win 2/3 of your games at home, and the Canucks need to, win 4 or at least 5. At least 4, hopefully 5 of their next 7 games, which are all at home, starting tomorrow night, home opener against the Minnesota Wild. So, as positive, and I'm generally very positive, as you know, overall, but as positive and optimistic I am about this team, there are 2 storylines that I think are going to prevail over the next week or so, or maybe the next couple of days, actually. Today and tomorrow, I think are going to be talking points. And maybe we'll get some clarity on one of them at practice today. But I want to talk about both Elias Pettersson and Vasily Podkolzin. And right off the bat, I want to say I'm not complaining at all. And that's the whole point, is I'm not worried about either situation, but I think I've already seen people talk about these 2 situations as it's probably the 2 biggest, what they call them, negative or neutral or challenging or differing or whatever you want to call them, the 2 talking points that I've seen that are not about how good Connor Garland, Bo Horvat, and Thatcher Demko have been, and Oliver Ekman-larsson, and so on and so forth. So let's talk about each of them, Elias Pettersson and Vasily Podkolzin. With Petey, I'm really not worried. I know there's a lot of angst out there. Oh, wow, how come he's only got 3 points in 6 games? How come he's not shooting? How come he can't handle the puck? How come he doesn't look very confident? Those are all fair questions for sure. But even when I hear all those questions and I watch his play, and yes, he had some uncharacteristic giveaways both in both zones, actually in all 3 zones on Saturday night against Seattle, I still think this is an elite superstar player who is working off the rust, quite frankly. Remember, he only played in 26 games last season. That means he missed more than half. He missed 30 games last season. He missed all the training camp. He missed basically all but 2 preseason games, I think it was. He only played in 2. And then he's had 6 regular season games. So he's only played 8 games since March, the start of March. 8 games in the past April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 2 plus 12. 19 months. He's played 8 games in the past 19 months. I'm willing to cut him some slack, and I'm suggesting that you should as well. Now you might say, well, Clay, the guy's making $7.35 million a year. Big contract, big responsibilities, big expectations. Yeah, agree. But I still think that 6 games is too small of a sample size. Now, double that. If in 10 or 12 games, 12's the double, not the 10. If in 12 games he's sitting there at only 5 or 6 points in 12 games, on pace for 40 points, then I think we can be a bit more concerned. But just like his entire line, he's obviously, there's the power play points for sure, but then his even strength partners of Besser and Miller, as a unit, they haven't done that well. Besser is even more rusty than Pettersson because Besser missed the end part of preseason and then the first few games of the regular season with his injury. And I talked about it yesterday. The Lotto line, when they don't have the puck, they don't really do a great job of getting it back. Like Pettersson usually doesn't, he works hard for sure, but he doesn't really retrieve he doesn't outfight a lot of guys for pucks if the other guy has it. Same with Besser. Besser isn't the best at winning puck battles, or at least displacing someone from the puck. Miller, I'd say, is the best of the 3 of them, but he's also prone to turn the puck over a lot. So you can see how that Lotto line, when they have the puck, they're great. They can own it. They can cycle. They're very smart players, all 3 of them, and they can do some really good things. But they got to get that puck first. And right now, I haven't seen a lot of great puck retrieval. So once Petey, Besser, Miller, once all three of them collectively had the puck more, then I think you're going to see Petey's points start to pile up. And it's not just about the points, it's about overall play, confidence, using your teammates, all those kind of things. But I'm not worried, truly, because it's only been 6 games. But let's revisit this in 2 weeks after they've played 10 or 12 games. So that's Petey. Let's go to Podkolzin. This one's tricky because he's been a healthy scratch in 2 of the 6 games, so already a third of the season he hasn't played. Small sample size, yes. Will he play tomorrow night in the home opener? Part of me says I hope that Travis Green, or I hope the Canucks don't do anything just to appease fans. But I have a feeling that he will play, whether that's about appeasing fans or simply another change in the lineup, a different look. Now, sometimes it's hard to get away from winning lineup. The Canucks have won twice, not like super convincingly, but they've won, and that's better than losing. They beat Chicago, a very weak team, and they beat a pretty poor Seattle team. And they did that with Podkolzin on the bench, or not even on the bench, not even dressed. And that's not because Podkolzin wasn't playing, it was because of some other really good performances that I mentioned earlier in the vlog. But really, it's Alex Chiasson and it's him fighting for the same spot. Chiasson was okay against Seattle, but he did get bumped off the first power play unit in the second period, or third period, which led to Horvat's second goal of the game-tying goal. So if you're not going to use Chiasson on the first power play unit, then I could see him coming out of the lineup and then Podkolzin coming in. So that power play unit then would return back to the big 5 of Hughes, Pettersson, Miller, Horvat, and Besser. Then you can run out a second unit of the 2 former Coyotes, Ekman-larsson, Garland. You go Pearson, you go Höglander, and then if you need someone to take draws, you could have a Dowling out there, or Dickinson, or a second defenseman in Rathbone, whatever you want to do. But you don't need Chiasson out there, is my point. So that's why I do think Podkolzin could play on Tuesday night. I just think if the impact on the game, both positive and negative, is very immaterial, like no difference, then why not play Podkolzin? Get him back in the lineup, because you don't want him scratched again. Then now you're scratched almost 50% of the young season so far. Now, I would say that there's no rush. Travis Green is very patient with some of his players. Kind of brings them to slowly think of just how Quinn Hughes wasn't put on power play 1 right away. It was Alex Edler for the longest time. Then finally, a month in the season, Green put Hughes on the first power play unit. So I'm trying to think of examples of how quickly he's brought on rookies. I know it wasn't Green, but I know Horvat started on the 4th line. Sure, he wasn't a healthy scratch, but he started on the 4th line and worked his way up. So all to say, if the Canucks are winning, I don't think we worry so much about Podkolzin's deployment yet. Like, we should watch it, we should study it, but I'm not too concerned just yet, especially if he plays for the majority of this homestand. If, though, he's a healthy scratch for another 2 or 3 games out of the next 7 at home, then you got to ask yourself, does this make sense? And should we put him instead in Abbotsford, where he can play every night, 18, 20 minutes a night, as a top 6 forward? So that's something to think about. Another consideration is Tyler Mott's going to come back to the lineup maybe in the next couple of weeks. So that's another body that Podkolzin's got to beat out. So maybe when Mott comes back, you send down a Dowling or a Lamico and then to Abbotsford. So a lot of options, but I'm not worried on the Podkolzin watch, although I am very intrigued to see more, how he does if he dresses tomorrow night for the home opener. And I think the Podkolzin story, as much as I'm not trying to make it a story, although I just spent 9 minutes talking about this story, I think the Podkolzin story is actually a bigger one to watch than the Pettersson one. The Pettersson one, I'm not worried. Canucks fans, let me know your thoughts. Are either of these stories an issue, or are these issues a story? Whatever you want to say, are these concerns for you? Pettersson's lack of production, Podkolzin's lack of playing time. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts. Shout out to my hero members, nucksfan number 29, Justin Credible, Lucas Gates, and Andrew Chang. Hall of Fame members, Jens95, Sim Alexander, Chris Seifert, Adam Broomfield, Shannon Hollingworth, and Carol Bovenlander. Thanks for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You are listed in my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or in my videos, or the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, become a member of the channel if you'd like to, leave a comment down below if you'd like to. Pettersson issue, Podkolzin issue, what are your thoughts on either or both guys? Let me know. I'd love to read your comments and read, react, and reply as always. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.